Hi everyone, it's Shell from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. So sitting here working on some blends. So this one is Salvage Patina, Kitsch Flamingo, and Dried Marigold. Just kind of putting together some ideas. I'm actually going to be doing a book of colors because of color combinations, because it's something that I often struggle with coming up with different color combos. So I looked on Pinterest, I looked on, I had watched a couple of Christina Werner's videos. So her Oxide combinations are in here, as well as some from Jessica Frost Ballas. And then some are just ones that I really liked together. I wanted to see what they would look like together. So I thought I would bring you along for the ride on me just trying to figure these out. And also I wanted to do a craft and chat because I haven't done those in a while. I've had something that happened this weekend that I was actually reminiscing about from more than 10 years ago. And the same thing happened to my parents this weekend. So I kind of wanted to talk to you about it because now I can laugh about this story. It's kind of crazy. So while I'm doing some color combinations, I thought that I would share some of this with you. So this one is Salvage Patina, Kitsch Flamingo, and Dried Marigold. So while I am crafting away, I thought that I would just talk to you about what happened. So I picked my parents up from the airport this morning. They were supposed to come in around a little after 12 this morning. And they actually didn't get in until almost 9 o'clock this morning because their flight got canceled yesterday. They were on American Airlines and they ended up waiting in line, and a whole bunch of things happened to them. And it turns out that it was a pilot strike on American Airlines, which they didn't tell anybody. Somebody else found out about it. So upset a ton of people, and it was just a crazy ride home from them. They actually were originally supposed to go to Grenada, and they ended up canceling because of it was like a level 4 restriction to go there. So my mom decided not to go, but they had to fly to Miami anyway. So they just went to Miami, then they drove to the Keys. So they had an awesome vacation until they tried to get home. They got to the airport at 3 o'clock. Their flight wasn't till 9, but they had a long drive up from the Keys. So they didn't know how long it was going to take them. So, and my dad is like always a super early person. So hold on. So this one's going to be speckled egg, peacock feathers, and chipped sapphire. I'm gonna look for my brushes while I'm talking about this. So my dad is one of those people that will literally get there like 4 hours before you need to. I don't know if it's just like a dad thing, or it's just a my dad thing, but he's always super early to literally everything. So anyway, so they spent the night in the airport. They gave them vouchers. They didn't have enough blankets for everyone. So like because there was a group of 40 there from a school in Atlanta. And so like my dad was like, no, let the kids have the blankets and the pillows. So my mom got one, but my dad decided to pass on it. So the ironic thing is 11 years ago, I had the worst trip home from a vacation that I've ever had. So I'm going to do speckled egg first. So I had gone to Vegas for my little sister, my sorority's 30th birthday. Getting out there was fine. I came in from Philly. She came in from New York. We stayed at Hooters, which is probably like the worst hotel ever. Ended up having to change rooms because the first night we were there was literally the air conditioning unit was literally missing from the room. So there was a big hole in the wall, and the Tropicana was next door, which was going under construction. So we had dirt and dust kicked up into our room overnight, and as well as the dust from the fake palm tree that was in the room that was all over the bedspread that my friend Katie was, the bed that Katie was sleeping in. And it was awful. Then the trip got better from there. We had a great time. And then come Sunday night, they all leave to go home. But me, I had two choices. I could have gone back to Philly Sunday and then flown to St. Louis on Monday. And I was like, why do I need to get on another plane? I'm just going to go right from Vegas to St. Louis for this Train the Trainer conference that I was involved in. So when I worked for Nestle, I trained people for, I think it was like 8 years I trained people for. as sales reps. When sales reps were new and came into the company, I trained them. So we did a train the trainer session, and I had to fly out there for it. So, okay. So I'm like, no big deal. I'll get up early in the morning. I'll stay in Vegas by myself Sunday night. Not a big deal. Went to bed early, got up, went to the airport. On the plane, now literally there are 2 terminals right next to each other. Both planes are going to Phoenix because we had a layover in Phoenix. Okay, so they get ready. We think we're getting ready to take off, and the pilot says, nope, the plane next to us is on fire, and they are going to take off the passengers who are continuing on to St. Louis. So a couple people get on the plane, and then we're like, okay, we're all ready to take off, and we're not because the air conditioning malfunctioned. So we can't take off without the air conditioning being fixed. So there's a lady who has a baby on there, and it was so hot. It was like 95 degrees in the plane. It was so hot. The baby started to dehydrate, and so it was really bad. She was trying to get, they actually opened the door so that the lady could get the baby some air because it was just so bad in there. I don't know why they didn't let us off the plane, but they didn't. So finally they fix it, we take off. They make an announcement about half an hour before we land, and they said anybody who is going on to St. Louis, let them off the plane first, and they knew exactly where we were all sitting. They said let them off the plane first because we've already radioed ahead and said, you know, hey, it's gonna be a short time frame. These people are on the plane. You know, they're gonna get onto the save their seats. We're gonna make it. Land. We all get off and we run to the gate. Well, we get to the gate, the door is closed, and I'm like, okay, well, that's weird because they knew that we were coming, and they were holding it for us. That's what they said. So we get there, and the woman at the desk is like, no, we didn't. We sold your seats. So we're like, what? You knew we were coming. So everyone's upset. We go to customer service, and then they're like, sorry, there's nothing you can do about it. You guys can go downstairs and get your luggage. So we go downstairs, and our luggage is not there. They held the plane to put our luggage on it, but sold our seats, so our luggage made it there. So thankfully, I am one of those travelers who puts a pair of pajamas, usually a bathing suit when I'm going away. And like I had my deodorant in there, I had my toothbrush. I love this combination. This one is so pretty. So this one is speckled egg, peacock feathers, and chipped sapphire. Super pretty. I really like that one. Okay, so continue with the story. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I'm all by myself. You know, I've traveled by myself, but I've never been to where I don't know what to do. So they're like, listen, we can put you guys on a flight to Dallas. So there were 7 of us. So that night we fly to Dallas. But before that, they give us vouchers. And there was 2 young guys there. They're probably like a little bit younger than me. And they were at a bachelor party that weekend. The one guy they were both super nice. They realized that I was by myself. We pooled our vouchers together. We went out to dinner. They were, I was talking to them about Vegas. They were talking to me. The one guy just found out that his wife was pregnant while he was in Vegas. So he was like super excited to get home and see her. And, so they were so sweet to me. And I was so appreciative because, again, all by myself. And, it's not that I was scared to travel by myself, but, it was just nice to have some company. So anyway, we fly to Dallas, get there, and so this one is Tumbled Glass, Mermaid Lagoon, and Blueprint Sketch. So we get to Dallas, they give us vouchers for like a hotel that's like $29.99 a night. So let me tell you how good that hotel was. I literally slept on the towel. I took a towel and put it on the bed because I was like, it was gross. I showered, but, I had like inappropriate clothes for the meeting for the next day. So, you know, to get to work. So I feel ill prepared because all of my clothes are now for this meeting are now in St. Louis and I am not. Meantime, a friend of mine named Mike has to go get my luggage because it's needed there. So he later on tells me that he's on the bus and he has my big suitcase because it was a checked suitcase, so it was huge. And this is all pre 9/11. Or was it pre 9? No, this is post 9/11. But anyway, it was, you know, it was, I think, when bags were like free to check still. So anyway, he gets on the bus to get to the hotel where this trainer session is happening with his little suitcase and then my huge suitcase, and people are like looking at him funny, and he was like, thank God they didn't have to open it. Now my name is Michelle and his name is Michael, so super close, and he was like embarrassed that, because I said, you know, it was like Vegas party clothes that were in there in addition to my work clothes. So anyway, I am still in Dallas. It was probably like 3 hours of being in the hotel, so I probably slept for like 15 minutes. Get up, go to Dallas, get on a plane. It's fantastic. Again, it's just this, literally just the 7 of us. We get on this huge plane. Everybody has their own row. We're buckled in. We're ready to go. We're like, okay, this is great. We're making great time. The captain comes on and says, you guys need to get off the plane. We're like, why? A bird has flown into the engine. A bird committed suicide and flew into our engine. So they had to clean the engine out. So we are, again, running through the airport down to the terminal that they tell us, or the gate that they tell us to get to. People were on that plane. They literally kicked them off that plane so that we could get on. And then we are off to St. Louis. Now, mind you, I have pajamas, an inappropriate t-shirt from a souvenir from Vegas that I am wearing to this meeting. Now my stuff is all in my coworker's room because my room wasn't checked into because I didn't need it that night, the night before. So I now have to interrupt the meeting and get the keys to his room so that I can go and shower before I go to this meeting. So it was one of those trips where I was like, oh, you know, if I had just gone home to New Jersey or Philly and then Jersey, I would have been fine. I would have gotten to the meeting on time. I wouldn't have missed a day of the or half a day of like train the trainer session. Actually, so, you know, have not slept, and not everybody knew the story. So one of the people that was teaching the class was like, is she hungover? What is wrong with her? Because I could barely keep my eyes open once I had gotten to class, and then they didn't know why I was late. It was no, because I had just finally made it there, and I had slept pretty much like in an airport and had been in several different airports. So I had been in Vegas airport, the Phoenix airport, I had been in Dallas, and then I had been in St. Louis. So because I didn't want to take one other plane home, I ended up taking a bunch more planes. So it just is one of those travel stories that you will never, ever forget. And now I can laugh about it. But that was my story. So, okay, so let's get back to this. This is Tumbled Glass, Mermaid Lagoon, and Blueprint Sketch. Another really, really pretty. I can see this being water. Really, really pretty. So here are the ones that we have done so far, and then I'll show you. I also did this one the other day, and this one is Squeeze Lemonade, Carved Pumpkin, and then this is the new Saltwater Taffy. And isn't that really, really pretty? So that's the story. I just kind of wanted to show you guys some of this and to tell you that story. So my poor parents finally got home this morning. They are exhausted. I am sure I haven't talked to them since I dropped them off this morning, but they, you know, traveling is not easy, especially lately, but this is what happened 11 years ago, and I had just been thinking about it, and then my poor parents kind of went through like the same thing. They got stuck at the airport, and, you know, they didn't have to take as many flights as I did to get back home, but I just thought that it was ironic that because we've had, like, knock on wood, we've really had some smooth travel. We've been out of the country and, you know, and then we flew to Disney, and we've had some very, very smooth travel, but this was just really bad. So If you guys have any crazy travel stories, I would love to hear them below in the comments. I know it has nothing to do with crafting, but I just thought that I would share that with you. And if you've had a bad travel experience, maybe you can relate, or this one makes you feel a little bit better about the travel experience that you've had. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below, including your worst travel stories, because I'd love to hear them. I will see you guys again real soon for another video. Bye.